Step 16, Sattva Guna Part 3. This is the steps in which we have been discussing in our earlier episodes 14, 15 also about the Sattva Guna, Part 1 and 2. These are all leading one in the path of who am I self-inquiry, the royal path to realize the self. All these three gunas make up the cosmic mind. Again, that cosmic mind is invisible, intangible, imperceivable. That is established by our current science also. Quantum physics especially confirms this. The tiniest physical particles, they are put up in the standard list of particle physics that has been growing and growing. In the past 2 centuries, which had started about finding out at the basic level, at the physical level of the microcosmic existential level, especially about in physics, space-time, how it is made up of, what are all the ingredients of atoms or subatomic levels which are all existing and forces which are all existing. Even beneath this is the existence of this cosmic mind in the form of informations. These information don't have a physical form. It is perceivable only by the gaze turned within. That is why, as we have been discussing the Sattva Guna, this Sattva Guna is endowed with this sort of a sharp knowledge, sharp understanding, clearly. It's not an intellect which is understanding something objectively. It is understanding about its own functioning. Because this intellect is only a name given to the functions of the cosmic mind and an individual's private mind, local mind. Both are the same. Totally, the mind itself veils the truth. We will have to tear open this screen and go behind and find out what exists there. This has been seen by our rishis. That is why they are called as seers. They had seen something and it has given a full stop to their search, and they had become the sought after material, that is the truth itself. They vanished. The seer who had been seeking, who had been searching, got destroyed, and the truth alone prevailed as the ultimate and the immediate, spontaneous, the nature of self. He has become the nature of self. The nature of self is stillness, silence and consciousness of the deep sleep state. There is no individual existing there to undergo these experience. But the whole of the cosmic mind, which is formed out of these three gunas, Sattva, Rajasa and Tamasa Guna, also give rise to all the quantum particles, subatomic particles, antimatter, dark energy which is pervading this cosmos to an extent of 68%, that you can see in the bottom circle in the violet color we had given. Invisible cosmos of 68% dark energy, and a portion of 27% has been occupied in this cosmos by the dark matter. It is clearly a matter. Even the dark matter is Only in the name it has come to be known. But what are those material subatomic anti-matter level particles are in existence is not known yet fully. Only the constitution of it, the whole cosmos, how it is constituted, what is its composition, that is what is given in the circle as invisible cosmos, invisible, not only invisible, imperceivable. It's not existing for an objective mind, objective seer at all. Even whatever we see as the visible universe, visible cosmos, 5% of the visible cosmos, what we see is the star which has disappeared is being seen now by us, by our naked eyes, even by our cosmic, the microcosmic or telescopic, with the help of the telescopic instruments. Look, okay. So that is the case with regard to even visible energy, visible matter. Visible, perceivable cosmos is only 5%. And these are all only ideas. You just can't do anything with these ideas. The intellect of a scientist who has found out all these things are only names. He is thrilled. His intellect got startled, stunned. It just can't do anything except it is wonderstruck, dumbstruck. It has to go into silence. Again, the intellect just can't go into silence. That is why in the east of this earth, the rishis have outrightly said that unless and until a man turns within himself and transcends his psychological being, that is mind, intellect and ego, and look at what exists beneath and beyond this, is what is called as transcendence. And unless this transcendence, unless this self-realization, the realization of the true self, which exists just like in the deep sleep state, is attained, achieved, the clear-cut categorical enlightenment is achieved, experienced without an experiencer, because the experiencer will be burnt the moment he turns to look at a thought. When you look at a thought, you cannot be an onlooker, you cannot continue to look to it continuously as an entity, because the entity will be vanished. This is very primary experience. At the primitive level of losing ourselves in an objective pursuit itself, we can come to know about this fact. When you read an interesting topic, the reader is dissolved. Reading goes on without a reader. Concepts completely absorbed. The observer, the reader, one who studies the article, the intellect is thwarted in the process of understanding something. When something is understood, people think out of ignorance that he has understood. He has understood something in his head. He has understood something in his mind. He has understood something very cleverly in his intellect. There are no such thing. They are all just names. All the inner instruments are nothing more than simply noise and names. The mind is beyond this body. All experiences with regard to the spirit, the real spirituality, one will have to definitely turn within, silence the thoughts. The thoughts cannot be silenced just like that. You will have to look to the thinker in him of those thoughts. Then suddenly the thinker vanishes. That is the death of the thinker. At the moment of death of the thinker, the thing is there, the truth is there. At the moment of the death of a feeler, the truth is there. At the moment of the death of the experiencer, the truth is there. This is brought about only by staying pure within, not using these two faculties, especially the mind, the thinking machine, the thoughts, the thinkers, the feeler and the feelings. And there is a head, a fictional head, a criminal by nature as ego, who holds all these experiences in him, and he barges into us throughout our waking states. This has to be carefully looked at, because you cannot find a person as an ego. As ego, nothing will be there, but there will be a feeling which is welling up in you, which is driving you to act, behave, do something, enjoy something, get something, achieve something. Such a sort of a compulsion by a feeling that is becoming pervasive throughout your physical body. No more you can restrain yourself. You will have to simply jump doing it, jump getting it. If you are so blessed out of your past, which has given rise to your Shubha Vasanas, the Vasanas of auspiciousness, that comes by constantly living in a selfless way. If that has arisen in you, then that intellect gains the sharpest gaze, and thereby it attains purity, a harmony, a kind of an interest, completely dissolving a separate self constantly in search of your own core. This is what's happening to one who has turned within himself. Here, by default, what happens? There are innumerable kinds of garbhas, wombs, readily available to absorb this illusory cosmic mind and to give a form to it, to give an expression to it in a physical form. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also, in the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogam, in the verse 4, Lord Krishna is giving this verse. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtayaha sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahat yoni raham bija pradaha pitha. Bija pradaha pitha. Who is the Pita? Pita means father. Who becomes the father? Always the deep sleep state is the father. And who is the mother? That which arises is its innumerable powers as Shakti, the mind that innately possesses innumerable powers, are the mother. So, throughout the cosmos, in the presence of the self, out of the churning of these three gunas, the cosmic mind as a womb is giving rise to innumerable forms of living beings. This is what he says in this Sloka. Sarvayonishu Kaunteye Murtayah Sambhavanti Yaha. In whose wombs innumerable living beings take their home, their abode, their life forms. It is the mother. Then what is the mother? The cosmic mind is the mother. Who is the father? Self is the father. Self is unmoving, but in its presence, the mother womb, the cosmic mind gives, it takes in its womb innumerable living beings and gives lot of conceptions. This is what he says. Tasam Brahma Mahat Yoniraham Bija Pradha Pitaha. This is the fourth verse. So here, as said by Manikya also in his Siva Puranam, Pullagi, Pundagi, Pulvagi, Maramagi, Palvirkshamagi, Paravayai, Pambai, Kallai, Peyai, Manidarai, Paravayai, Pambai, Devarai, Munivarai, Ganangalai, Manidarai, Chellan Indra. He has brought into names through that verse, in Tamil verse, Manikya all forms of conception, right from one cell, amoeba, to trees, plants, insects, rishis, devas, the light body devas, everything he has brought. Even the ghost forms, demonic nature beings, everything he has brought it. So innumerable yonis, innumerable wombs are existing in this cosmic mind. That is being churned out moment to moment, moment to moment. Nothing is in a static state at all. This is the characteristic property of the cosmic mind. Apart from that, there is nothing existing. This cosmic mind, or the seed, the digital registrations like past recordings that are held in the cosmic mind is called as the core creative force, Moola Prakriti, core creative aspect or power that doesn't have a creative power of its own. It is happening in the presence of the Supreme Self. How? From the sun, both light and heat originate together. They just can't be separated. The heat can't be separated from the light, and the light can't be separated from the heat. In the same way, in the presence of the one self, and this doesn't exist apart from it or even away from it. This is included in it. All comprehensive one self. That is why our path becomes easy. The path of self-realization becomes easy under who am I? We essentially, even it is Sattva Guna, even if it is the most purified state of Guna, we are probing that also, and we want to get beyond everything and look at what is the essential nature. This is our purpose. With this, we will stop here, and we will see it in the next part 4 in step 17.